I grew up in a very rough neighborhood in Oklahoma City. I grew up in a single-parent home, gangs, drugs, prostitution house across the street from my home. My father left when I was 3 years old, and since he didn't have his legal name, we could not find out where he was located. So we didn't get phone calls, we didn't get presents, we didn't get a whole lot of time to spend with our dad. The neighborhood we grew up in was filled with gangs, violence, drive-bys, prostitution, drugs, and just in our home alone, there was some violence as well. With my mother being abused for 9 years and my sister being abused for 5 years, it was tough. So going out into the environment in my neighborhood, dealing with all of the things that I had to deal with, and then coming home to have to deal with that, being the man of the household, it was very hard. There were many times where I didn't know that I was going to live the next day. There was a lot of times I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from. There was a lot of times where I didn't know my mom was going to make it from all the abuse that she had. I just had no clue, and I had no aspirations in life. I think I just gave up in a sense. I think that's where a lot of the anger came from. I think that's where a lot of the fights came from. I think that's where hanging out with the wrong crowd and being arrested 3 times just as a teenager alone. So I was heading down the wrong path, and I didn't even know that a wreck was coming, but it was coming eventually. But God brought a Christian, God-fearing family man, very dedicated, committed. He brought a mentor into my life that changed me forever. After high school, I began working at this car dealership, and I became friends with this gentleman that presented me an offer that it was kind of hard to turn down. The offer was to be a hitman in his organization. And to go into a little bit more details, the expectations were I was to take the hit for $50,000 a hit, and if I didn't take the hit, then they would come after me, and I would basically no longer exist. I would no longer be able to live the life that I was living currently at that time. And I had 1 week to think about it. So after weeks had passed, during that time, I called my mentor, Michael Pollard, and gave him the details about what was going on. He gave me 2 choices. You can either go down the road that you're going, or you can go to college. And after some convincing, I ended up going to college, graduated 4.5 years with a Bachelor of Science degree, living in Colorado. Now I live in Dallas, Texas, to where I'm doing my own mentor. I'm that Michael to all these little Lawrences. Married to 10 years, 3 kids, and I'm now infusing what was infused in me to all the kids that need my help. You see, God had a different plan for my life. He had a plan to make me successful and to give me hope. And God has that same plan for you.